Hi, my name is Gary Hinolan. I'm the Partner Technology Advisor for Microsoft Philippines. And what I do is I train partners on how to sell all the Microsoft product from Windows Client to Windows Server to server application to cloud services. I also do deep dive licensing training and technical training to customers and partners. And today we will discuss the Windows Client licensing, which will include Windows 8.1 and the new licensing for Windows 10. First, we will talk about the Windows 8.1 editions and availability. Windows 8.1 is available through OEM, Original Equipment Manufacturer, FPP Full Package Product, and Volume Licensing. OEM is for new PC only, and it's pre-installed. It means the operating system is already installed once you get the machine, and it doesn't come with a full installer. So that's the reason why you cannot install the operating system separately with OEM. And the product key of OEM is embedded in the BIOS. So before, with Windows 7, the product key is on a sticker. It's probably on the side, at the back, or at the bottom of the machine. But today, with Windows 8.1, the product key is in the BIOS. So you didn't have to input the product key because you didn't have to install the operating system. And OEM is the easiest and the most cost-effective way to get a genuine Windows license. Now, if we have a new PC, a naked PC, which doesn't have an operating system, then you need to buy an FPP. Okay? Or I can use FPP to upgrade from an existing PC. It means I have an old machine with Windows XP or Windows 7. I want to upgrade to Windows 8.1. I can use FPP. Since FPP is you have to install the operating system separately, then you have a full installer. Versus with OEM, you didn't have an installer. With FPP, you have an installer, and the product key is on a sticker inside the box, or it's in the box. And it's ideal for less than 5 PC. The reason why it's ideal for less than 5 PC because first you have to install the operating system one by one because it has a unique product key. So let's say I have 100 machines. It means the IT would have to install one by one and input unique product keys on each machines. So that's going to be hard. Second one is I have to keep all the boxes for inventory, because if Microsoft calls the customers to check on the licenses, then you have to customers should show the box because that's where the product key is. So that's the reason why it's ideal for less than 5 PC. But it doesn't mean if you have more than 5 PC, or if you have less than 5 PC, then you need to buy FPP. No, you can buy FPP if it's more than 5, or if you have 100 machines. That's fine. But it's just a recommendation. Next, volume is for upgrade only. So there's a pattern. OEM is for new PC only. That's it. FPP is for new PC without an operating system if you want to install the operating system separately. So FPP or upgrade. Then volume is upgrade only. So let's differentiate first OEM and FPP for new PC, right? So I hope it makes sense. When do you buy OEM for new PC versus FPP for new PC? Now OEM, it's easy, right? You didn't have to install anything. You don't have to input the product key because the product key is embedded in the BIOS. Now if you want to install this, the operating system separately, then you will need to buy FPP. And there's a reason why some of the customers would buy FPP, even though you have to install it one by one and you have to keep the boxes. Because one of the benefits of FPP versus OEM, okay, FPP is transferable versus OEM. So see the differences? So that's the reason why I'm showing you when to buy OEM for new PC or get FPP for new PC. Now, next question is, when do you buy FPP for upgrade versus volume upgrade, right? With volume, As you can see, it's ideal for more than 5 PC. Why? Uh, the installer for volume licensing is you have to go to a website. It's called Volume Licensing Service Center. Now here's an example. Let's say I have 100 machines, 100 devices. If I bought the license through Open or volume licensing, all you have to do is go to Volume Licensing Service Center, and then I log in, and then I just download one installer for 100 machines, and I can use one product key for for 100 machines. So it's easier versus going to volume. It's easier versus FPP. I have to install one by one and have unique product key. While in volume, I just have one installer and one product key. But you need to have a qualifying operating system before you can upgrade using volume. Okay. Another thing, volume is an upgrade only. You cannot buy Windows 8.1 volume to a new machine. You need to have a base license. When I say base license, it's an OEM or FPP. Again, you cannot buy volume to a new machine. If it's a new machine, it should be OEM first or FPP first. Then I can upgrade to volume. Next, volume requires qualifying operating systems. So these are the qualifying operating systems. It needs to have an Ultimate Edition or Professional Edition before you can upgrade using volume. For example, if you have a Windows XP Home, a Windows Vista Home Edition, or Windows 7 Home, I cannot upgrade using volume. So the only time I can upgrade from Windows, let's say Windows 7 Home Premium to Windows 8.1 is I need to buy FPP, because Home Premium we cannot upgrade using volume. Same thing with Windows Vista. If I have a Home Premium, I want to upgrade to 8.1 volume, you cannot upgrade. So the only way for a Windows Vista Home Premium to upgrade using 8.1 is to buy FPP. So you need to have a Professional Edition or an Ultimate Edition before you can upgrade using volume. So that's the qualifying operating systems. Next, here are the editions for OEM. OEM, we have Windows RT, which stands for runtime, Windows 8.1 and 8.1 Pro. With FPP, the only available editions are 8.1 and 8.1 Pro. And with volume licensing, the only editions available are 8.1 Pro and Enterprise Edition. And Enterprise Edition is the only edition you can add software assurance, which we will discuss later on what software assurance is for. Now, let's do a quiz. Example, if I'm a new customer and I have 100 new machines and I want to have an Enterprise Edition. So if it's a new machine and I want to have an Enterprise Edition, does it mean I have to buy volume licensing Enterprise Edition? The answer is no, because volume licensing, remember with volume licensing you need to have a base license, which means you need to have an OEM or FPP first if it's a new machine. So if I want to have an Enterprise Edition, I need to buy a Windows 8.1 Pro or Windows 8.1 Pro OEM or Windows 8.1 FPP. So that's the first step. So first step is I need to buy OEM 8.1 Pro Edition or FPP 8.1 Pro Edition. Then I must need to purchase upgrade volume to Enterprise Edition. So that's the second step. Okay. Now we will discuss the Windows 10 editions and availability. So now with Windows 10 we have Home Edition. Home Edition is for consumers. and bringing your own device. It's available through OEM and FPP. Next, we have the Windows 10 Professional Edition. Windows Professional is for small and lower mid-sized businesses. And it's available through OEM, FPP, and Volume. Okay? Next, we have the Windows 10 Enterprise Edition. This is for mid-sized and large enterprises. Windows 10 is for enterprise. Windows 10 Enterprise Edition is for volume licensing only. Same thing with Windows 8.1. And we have a new edition. It's called Windows 10 Education. It's for educational institutions, students, teachers, and administrators. And it's only available through Volume. So these are the editions for Windows 10 and availability. And same thing, before you can upgrade using Volume, let's say Volume to Professional Edition, Enterprise, or Education, you need to have a qualifying operating system. Same thing with Windows 8.1. So you must have at least a Professional or Enterprise Edition. If you're using Home Edition or Starter Edition, you cannot upgrade using Volume. So same thing with Windows 8.1. Next, Windows 8.1 System Builder, or sometimes we call it COEM. COEM stands for Client Original Equipment Manufacturer. So there are two scenarios with COEM. So hopefully we can clarify this so that there will be no confusions. So COEM is for clone machines or assembled machine. It means it's a DIY. DIY. Yeah, DIY. Yeah, sorry, DIY. If you want to assemble your own desktop. So, two scenarios. First one, customers assembles the machine. Second one, resellers assembles the machine. Okay. If a customer assembles the machine, customer is not allowed to buy COEM. If a customer assembles the machine, then customer needs to buy FPP. Okay? If the resellers assembles the machine, then the resellers should license it to COEM. So that's the two scenarios. Hopefully it's clear when you can license COEM. Next one is the upgrade path from Windows 8 to 8.1. The reason why I'm showing this because it has a relation with Windows 10, and there's a lot of confusion because of this one. They think that with Windows 10 it's the same update or upgrade using Windows 8 to 8.1. So first we will discuss how to upgrade to Windows 8 to Windows 8.1. Upgrading to Windows 8 to 8.1 is free, right? So if you're using Windows 8 OEM or FPP, you have to go to Windows Store. Again, it's free. And when you go to Windows Store, you just look for 8.1 and then upgrade using the Windows Store. So that's how the process is. Now, if you're using a volume license, you need to go to Volume Licensing Service Center, because some of the customers who have volume license, they upgraded to 8.1 and some of them would go to Windows Store and it doesn't work. So if you're using a volume license, you need to go to VLLC. So let's say you have a Windows 8.1 Pro. If you don't have an active software assurance, you would still have a Windows 8.1 Pro. So from Windows 8 to 8.1 Pro, it's a free, right? But if you have a Windows 8.1 Pro with active software assurance, you can do a step up. A step up means I can have a higher edition. So from Windows 8.1 Pro, now I have a Windows 8.1 Enterprise Edition. Okay, so that was the upgrade process of Windows 8 to 8.1. Now, with Windows 10, it's different. Okay, how you do an upgrade, but it's still free. Okay, if you're going to upgrade from 8.1 to Windows 10, it's free, but it's a different process. So let's discuss it now. So for consumers with Windows 8 or 8.1 or Windows 7 Home Basic or Home Premium, you can upgrade to Windows 10 Home. Again, Windows 8, 8.1 only, okay? Not Pro. Windows 8.1 only or Windows 7 Home Basic or Home Premium, you can upgrade to Windows 10 Home for free. And if you for commercial, so Windows 8.1 Pro or Windows 7 Professional or Ultimate Edition, it's a free upgrade to Windows 10 Pro. And the upgrade starts at July 29th of 2015. That's the start when you have a free upgrade. Now, if you did not upgrade within the year, okay, you would have to buy the license. So my suggestion is, coming July 29th, if you want to have a free Windows 10, you start upgrading now on July 29th. Because after 1 year of July 29th, you cannot upgrade to Windows 10. You need to buy the license. Now, here's the big differences between 8 to 8.1, right, to Windows 10. So both upgrade are free. 8 to 8.1 is free. 8.1 to 10 is free. But with Windows 10, the upgrade is through Windows Update. That's the big differences. That's the reason why I'm showing you the upgrade path versus 8.8 to 8.1 to Windows 10. Now, even if it's an OEM or volume, you don't have to go to Windows Store. You don't have to go to the Volume Licensing Service Center. The only way for you to upgrade to Windows 10 is through Windows Update only. I hope that's clear. The reason why I'm showing this, because some of the confusions is they think that if I want to upgrade, if I have a volume license of 8.1 Pro, if I want to upgrade to Windows 10, I have to go to VLC. It's not gonna work. The only way for you to upgrade is through Windows Update. Next, we will talk about the features by edition. So this is a good scenario. For example, if a customer would ask me, when do I need to buy Windows 8.1 versus 8.1 Pro, or when do I need to buy 8.1 RT versus 8.1 only? So let's differentiate first Windows 8.1 RT versus 8.1. Okay, it's simple. Windows RT, the runtime is for ARM processors only. If it's an ARM processor, no questions asked. It's automatic. It's on Windows 8.1 RT. Again, ARM processors are the same processors in your smartphone. Okay? If it's an ARM processor, automatic, it's a Windows RT. Plus, another differences between 8.1 RT and 8.1 only is 8.1 RT is for 32-bit applications only. While with Windows 8.1, you can install 32-bit and a 64-bit applications. That's it. That's how simple it is. That's the differences between Windows 8.1 RT versus 8.1. Okay? I hope that's clear. Next, when do you purchase 8.1 versus 8.1 Pro? Simple. If a client wants to connect to the server, automatic, it's a Windows 8.1 Pro. Again, if a client wants to connect to the server, automatic, get an 8.1 Pro. Because 8.1 only, there's no remote desktop connection, there's no group policy, and you cannot domain join. You can't do domain join. So that's the differences between 8.1 to 8.1 Pro. Plus, another feature to 8.1 Pro is you have a BitLocker and a BitLocker to go. BitLocker is basically going to secure and encrypt your hard drive. So in case someone steals your laptop or your machine and take the hard drive out and plug it in on a different machine, once they plug it in on a different machine, if they try to open the content of your hard drive, it will ask for a BitLocker key. So that's basically securing your hard drive if someone tries to get your files. BitLocker to go is going to secure your USB or removable devices. So if, let's say, you lost your thumb drive, if someone was able to pick it up and then tried to open the file or see the files inside your storage, it will ask for a BitLocker key. Okay, so that's securing your storage. And then client Hyper-V is almost the same as Hyper-V in Windows Server. And Hyper-V is a hypervisor to create a virtual machine. That's included in Windows 8.1 Pro. So you can start playing around with Hyper-V if you want to test how it looks like and how to create a virtual machine. Then you can use Windows 8.1 Pro. Next, when do you purchase Enterprise Edition? Enterprise Edition includes all the features found within 8.1 Pro. So the Hyper-V, the client Hyper-V, the BitLocker, you can connect to, you can domain join, you can do remote test up. All of those features are within Enterprise Edition. Plus, you have these features. You have start screen control. Start screen control controls the start screen layout that users will see through centralized managed group policy. It means all of your users would have the same layout of their start screen. Then we have Windows to Go. Windows to Go is to create a corporate Windows 8.1 environment on a USB stick. We will discuss that later on in the next slide and how Windows to Go works. And then we have Direct Access. Direct Access allows remote users to seamlessly access resources inside a corporate network without having to launch a separate VPN. And it helps IT administrator to keep remote users' PC in a compliance by applying the latest policies, software updates, and it's easier to deploy and can be implemented with the existing IPv4 infrastructure. And branch cache allows people's PC to cache files, websites, and other content from central servers. So content is not repeatedly downloaded across the wide area network. And then in VDI, virtual desktop infrastructure, we have a lot of enhancements. We have Remote FX and Windows Server 2012 R2. And it will provide users a rich desktop experience with ability to have remote apps look like local apps. You can adjust screen resolution and orientation on demand, and the ability to reconnect to your desktop quickly across any type of network. And UpLocker can help you mitigate issues by researching the files and apps that people or groups are allowed to run. Enterprise side loading is it's a domain joined PCs and tablets running in Windows 8.1 Enterprise will automatically be enabled to sideload internal WinRT applications. So you can deploy Windows 8.1 apps from outside the Windows Store, because most of the time, if you have a Windows 8.1 applications, the modern application, the only way for you to install it is you have to download it in Windows Store. Now, with enterprise side loading, you can deploy applications outside the Windows Store. Now here's how Windows to Go works. So Windows to Go is basically will copy the image of your operating system in a USB drive, and not all USBs you can do a Windows to Go. There are qualifying USB to do a Windows to Go, and once it copies the image of your operating system, now you can plug it in on in a Windows 7, at least Windows 7 machine. Once you plug it in, you need to boot to USB. Once you boot to USB, when it loads up, it will open the Windows 8.1. Again, it will not install the operating system. It just loads the operating system in the USB. It will not install it. You would still have the Windows 7, but it was able to open Windows 8.1 on a USB. So when you unplug the USB, it just goes back to Windows 7. So it's more like you have a roaming operating system, a Windows 8.1 roaming on a different machines. So to know more about this Windows to Go, you can go to that site. Okay. Now, with Windows 8.1 Enterprise Edition, yes, you can create Windows to Go, but if you're going to plug it in on a different machine, you need to have a software assurance. So that's the requirement if you want to do a Windows to Go. VDI. So, for example, we have let's say Windows Server. Okay, we have a Windows Server. And with Windows Server, you can create a virtual machine. And most of the time, when you create a virtual machine in Windows Server, the license inside the Windows Server, the license inside the virtual machine is also Windows Server, right? That's a typical scenario if you're going to do Windows Server virtualization. With VDI, it's a virtual desktop infrastructure. It means once you create the virtual machine, the license inside the virtual machine is Windows 8.1. Okay, that's how VDI works. Now, let's say you have clients. It could be a Windows 8 client, a Windows 8 machine, or an Android tablet, or a Mac machine, or an iPad. Now, these machines, when they connect to the server through a remote desktop, they can see. You would see the Windows 8.1 as if it's installed on your machine on the Android or in a Mac, but it's connecting through remote desktop connection. So, for example, in a Mac machine, this is what they see. They would see the remote desktop, the applications, the resources. They can even see the files within the Windows 8.1 in a virtual machine. And for licensing, so let's assume that the customer is using Windows Server 2012 and using Hyper-V for virtualization. So two scenarios. If it's a Windows 8.1 Professional or an Enterprise Edition, if they have that license, they just have to add a software assurance. And a software assurance allows you to install 4 virtual instances of Windows 8.1. Again, the software assurance allows you to install 4 virtual instances of Windows in a virtual machine, right? So, and then you need to buy a Windows Server Client Access License because the clients are connecting on a physical server of Windows Server 2012. Plus, they will need to buy an RDS-CAL because they're going to connect through remote desktop connection. So that's the first scenario if you have a Windows client machine, or Windows 8.1 Pro and Enterprise Edition. Now, if you have a thin client, it doesn't have a Windows license, now they would need to buy a VDA, not a software assurance. So if it's a thin client, you need to buy a VDA. And VDA is same thing. It's almost the same thing with software assurance. It allows you to install up to 4 virtual instances of Windows. But with VDA, it's a subscription. You have to purchase it every year. Okay? And then you need to buy Windows Server Client Access License because you're connecting to the server, and you need to buy RDS-CAL because you're connecting through remote desktop connection. So that's the VDI licensing. And then we have the branch cache. So the branch cache is users in the branch office can download documents, application faster at the same branch office, can obtain the local obtain the content local rather than downloading the content from the server. So in case if one of the clients wants to connect to the server and they would just basically download the same data, then they can connect through a workstation. So that's branch cache. So the business value with Enterprise Edition and Software Assurance. So with Enterprise Edition features, you get start screen control, the app locker, the VDI, and the direct access. The benefits of Software Assurance is you have the Microsoft Desktop Optimization Pack, and you have many devices with flexible use rights. Again, with Software Assurance, you have the VDA, and you have the option to do the Windows to Go, and you can have the enterprise side loading. So that's the benefits of Software Assurance. Now with Windows 10 Enterprise Software Assurance, the Microsoft Desktop Optimization Pack is included. So that's the new licensing for Windows 10. So it's already included in software assurance. Plus, with the exclusive enterprise features, you got granular UX control and lockdown. You got the pass the hash mitigation, and you got a telemetry control via GPA MDM and device guard. So these are the new features in the Windows 10 Enterprise Edition. But what I want to focus here is the version rights and foundational benefits and support. This is very important. With with software assurance, with software assurance, you have the 24/7 and extended hotfix support. This is very important because some of the customers think Windows 8.1, Windows 8.1 or Windows 10 technical support is free. It's actually not. If you want to have a free technical support, you need to have a software assurance. And sometimes, most of the customers, if they purchase Microsoft licenses, their next question is, can they have a free training? Well, if they have a software assurance, you have a free training voucher and an e-learning, and you have a TechNet benefits. So that's the important part about software assurance. I hope most of the customers would purchase software assurance. Now, this is the summary of the licensing. The downgrade, if you can transfer the licenses, and if you can add software assurance. Now, first for OEM, if you can downgrade, and if you can transfer the licenses for OEM, FPP, Volume, and GGWA. By the way, just an FYI. This licensing, the downgrade, transferability, and add software assurance is for Windows 8.1 only. It's not applicable to other products because there's a lot of confusions. Before, when I present this, they think that Windows 8.1 licensing is also the same as the licensing for Windows Server. It's not the same. This licensing is totally different. It's only for Windows 8.1 only. Okay? Later on, I will discuss why this one is different from the others. So let's start with the downgrade of OEM. With OEM, yes, you can downgrade OEM to N-2 as long as it's a Windows 8.1 Pro Edition. Remember, with OEM, we have Windows RT 8.1 and 8.1 Pro. So with OEM, the only license you can downgrade is 8.1 Pro. You cannot downgrade Windows 8.1 RT or 8.1 only. Okay? And it's N-2. When I say N-2, it's a 2 version down. So you have Windows 7 Pro and Vista Business. So that's how far you can downgrade. So Windows 7 Pro, or you can downgrade to Vista Business. FPP, you cannot downgrade FPP. And then for Volume, yeah, you can downgrade Volume as long as the minimum is Windows 8.1 Pro or Enterprise Edition. And you can downgrade from Windows 7 to Windows NT if you want. But it's not. I don't recommend customers doing a downgrade to an operating system which is no longer supported. So at least maybe you can downgrade until Windows 7 at least. Because Windows XP, starting to Windows XP until NT, it's basically end of support. And GGWA. So GGWA is a Get Genuine Windows Agreement. So we will discuss later on what is GGWA. You get GGWA if you have a mislicense and stuff. So GGWA for corporate, when you buy GGWA, the edition you would get, or for commercial, the edition you would get is a Pro Edition. It's 8.1 Pro Edition for GGWA for commercial. So, can you downgrade GGWA? The answer is yes, since it's a Pro. And it's like Volume, because GGWA, Get Genuine Windows Agreement, is available only through Volume. So, you have the same downgrade of Volume until Windows NT. Next, can you transfer OEM license? I guess most of us would know the answer. No. Again, OEM license dies with the machine. when you say dies with the machine, it's actually on the motherboard. Remember, the product key of OEM is on the motherboard, which is in the BIOS. So it's embedded in the BIOS, and it's in motherboard. FPP. So FPP is the only license that is transferable. So if you have an FPP, yes, you can transfer the license to a different machine. Volume. Here's the confusion. This is the reason why I keep repeating what I said earlier. This is only available to Windows 8.1 because with Windows 8.1, the volume license is not transferable. This is only for 8.1. Okay, and the only thing you can transfer with volume is the software assurance. So if you have a software assurance, you cannot transfer the license, but you can only transfer the software assurance to a different device. I hope that's clear. Again, this is for 8.1 only. GGWA, the answer is no. The reason why you cannot transfer the GGWA because it's almost like it's your base license. So if you don't have a genuine license, then that's like your base license, so you cannot transfer it anymore, but you can downgrade. Next one, can you add software assurance? With OEM, no. There's a new update. So I'm going to show you later on the documentation why you cannot add software assurance to OEM. You cannot add software assurance to FPP as well. And software assurance is only available to Enterprise Edition through Volume. In short, only Enterprise Edition through Volume is available for software assurance. Next one, GGWA. No, you cannot add software assurance to GGWA. Now the next question is, do we have a supporting document to all of this? So the next slide, this is the supporting document for the downgrade. So there's a link. You can download that link and go to page 16, and that will tell you the downgrade rights for OEM and Volume, and it will tell you that FPP is not downgradable. Okay. Next one, transfer of license. So we have a documentation of that. You can go to the OneDrive site again, and then go to page 2, and as you can see, there's a differences between transfer and reassignment, right? So under the Volume licensing upgrade license and Microsoft Software Assurance, it says the Volume licensing upgrade license for the Windows desktop PC operating system is tied to the device on which the software is first installed. Okay, that's transfer. And under reassignment, it's almost the same thing. The Volume licensing Windows upgrade license is tied to the device to which it's first assigned and cannot be transferred to another device under any circumstances. See, that's a documentation that tells you that 8.1 Volume is not transferable, and this is only applicable to 8.1. So this is not applicable to other products. If this is Windows Server, yeah, in Volume you can transfer the license, but we're talking about Windows 8.1. Now, how does software assurance transfer works, or how does reassigning and transfer licensing in Windows 8.1? Example, let's say I have a machine. The original license is Windows 7 Pro. Remember, you need to have a base license. You cannot have a naked PC. So it could be an OEM or FPP. And then I've upgraded my machine using Volume because I have a Windows 7 Pro, right? So I'm qualified to upgrade using Volume. But I did not include a software assurance. So now I'm using Windows 8.1 Pro with no software assurance. And then I decommissioned, or my machine damaged or got lost. Now I have a new machine. And again, if you have a new machine, it needs to be an OEM or FPP. It can never be a naked PC. Now, I cannot transfer the 8.1 license to the new machine. Okay? Now, here's a second scenario. This time, I've upgraded to 8.1 Pro plus software assurance. Okay? Now I want to decommission, or I get damage. I get damage on my machine, or I get lost. I get a new device, and you can never have a naked machine and just transfer the license. First, you cannot transfer the license. Plus, second, you cannot transfer to a naked machine. So, if it's a naked machine, it needs to have a base license. It should be an OEM and FPP. So this machine has a Windows 7 Pro, right? Now, I can transfer the software assurance. So once I transfer the software assurance, remember with software assurance benefits, I can have new version rights. I mean, I can upgrade to a newer version. I didn't have to buy a new license as long as the software assurance is still active and it's qualified. Okay? So now, once I transfer the software assurance to the Windows 7 Pro, I can upgrade to Windows 8.1 Pro. It's almost transferable, right? So that's the benefit if you have a software assurance. The next, we have the documentation about adding software assurance. Remember what I said earlier, you cannot add software assurance to OEM or to FPP or even in Windows 7 Pro. So this is the documentation. It says Windows software assurance may continue to be attached within 90 days to Windows Pro on a new PC acquired before July 1st of 2014. So that's until July 1st of 2014. For example, if a customer buys a new machine on June 3rd, they can attach software assurance to the device without buying the underlying upgrade license until September 1st. So that's the documentation. So after July 1, you cannot add software assurance anymore. So that's the documentation. Next one is when to purchase the GGWA, Get Genuine Windows Agreement. So there's a link. So there's two links. You can visit to that site and you can read more information about GGWA. So here are the 4 questions that will probably help you when to get GGWA. First one. Purchase PC without an operating system pre-installed and then use volume licensing agreement to install the Windows. I've been repeating this many times. You can never have a naked PC then buy volume licensing. It means all new PCs or machine needs to have a base license of OEM or FPP. You can never buy volume license to a new machine. Second one. Purchase PC with a Windows operating system that does not qualify for a Windows upgrade under a commercial volume licensing agreement. So this is the same slide I've shown you earlier. Remember, before you can upgrade using a volume, you need to have a qualifying operating system. It should be like Ultimate Edition or Professional Edition. This is also the same with Windows 10. Attempt to save costs by doing in-place motherboard upgrades without acquiring a new Windows license on those PC. So remember with OEM, the product key is in the BIOS. And the BIOS is in the motherboard. And remember, you cannot transfer the license with OEM. And OEM dies with the machine. So it means if you replace the motherboard, then you need to have a new license. If you did not buy a new license on the new motherboard, and that's going to be a GGWA. Okay. Fourth one is download software online or from unknown resources. This is basically a pirated license. You download it from somewhere else. So if it's a pirated license, you need to buy a GGWA. I hope that's clear about when to get a genuine Windows agreement. So please visit on the website. It can help. There's more information about the GGWA. Now we will discuss the downgrade process for OEM. Remember, we can downgrade licenses to Windows 8.1 OEM, but it needs to have a Pro Edition. So let's say I have a Windows 8.1 Pro Edition. I want to downgrade to Windows 7. Now to do that, I need to obtain a genuine Windows media of Windows 7 Pro or Vista Business. Okay, make sure it's a genuine. It's a legit license. And once I have an installer of Windows 7 or Vista Business, I have to uninstall Windows 8.1 Pro and then install Windows 7. The next question is, which product key do I have to use? Well, you need to use the Windows 7 product key or the Vista Business product key, not the Windows 8.1 product key, because it will not match. The reason why I'm saying this is because there's a lot of confusion. Some customers would downgrade to Windows 7, but they would use the product key of 8.1. It's not going to work. It should match. So if I downgrade the Windows 7 Plus, if I downgrade my machine to Windows 7, I need to use the Windows 7 product key, not the 8.1. Now, let's say I've already installed Windows 7, Windows 7 Pro using the product key of the Windows 7 Pro. It will work, but it will not activate. The reason why it's not going to be activated because the product key has probably been used, right? Because I obtained the license from someone else. So once I install the Windows 7, put the product key, the next step is I need to call Microsoft for activation. I just have to tell the Microsoft I bought Windows 8.1 Pro, I have the license, and I downgrade to Windows 7 Pro, and that will give you an activation. Next question. Let's say I was able to downgrade to Windows 7 Pro, and then I want to go back to Windows 8.1 Pro. Can you go back to Windows 8.1 Pro? The answer is yes. Okay. If I want to do the downgrade, if I want to go back to Windows 8.1, yes, you can go back to Windows 8.1. Next one is downgrade process for volume. It's almost the same as OEM. Okay, I have Windows 8.1 Pro or Enterprise Edition, uninstall it, and then go to Volume Licensing Service Center. You can download the installer in the Volume Licensing Service Center, and then just install the license and use the product key in the VLC. And it may need to activate Windows via phone, but sometimes it will work. Just in case, if it's gonna ask you for activation, then you just have to call and then tell them, Windows activation that I bought 8.1 Pro and I downgraded to Windows 7. Okay, so that's the Windows client licensing. I hope you've learned a lot of things about the licensing, and I would like to thank everyone for watching this video. So if you have any questions, you can send me an email, and if you want to have a copy of this presentation, please download the link in my OneDrive. It's case sensitive. Make sure you type in the correct characters, and make sure if it's an uppercase or a lowercase. Please follow the link. So thank you again for watching this video.